Good morning. Happy Sunday. Namaste. I'm so happy to be here with you. Um, Welcome to Yoga on the Mats. One second. Okay, here we go. Thank you for being here. Thanks to yourself for taking a moment out of your day to be present and to just enjoy a beautiful practice of yoga. So, arriving on your mat, finding a comfortable seated position. Really quickly, I'll just run us through. We're going to have very limited props today, so just a blanket and something that will work as a yoga strap or a modified yoga strap, so a jujitsu belt or a necktie. That'll pretty much be the prop list for today. You can have your blocks and bolsters if you prefer, but we're going to kind of stick to those props for today. So, once again, welcome. Thank you for being here. So, just arriving on your mat, finding a comfortable seated position. Begin connecting to the breath. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Just noticing the inhale and the exhale. Drawing attention to where your body and the floor meet. Bringing some heaviness, some awareness into the sits bones, the legs, feet. Creating a strong foundation. And then allowing the breath to extend up into the spine. Setting the intention for proper spinal alignment for your body. You can extend up through the spine, through the head, towards the ceiling. And arms can rest gently on the knees. I'm going to open us with a chant. And this is in celebration of unity of everyone, all of us, the consciousness that connects us all, and for the divine creativity that flows through us all, and just honoring that. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Reconnecting with the breath here. Notice where you feel the inhale as it enters your body. And then allowing a full, complete exhale as you release. One more full inhale here. Exhale, release. Good. So we're going to do some retention breath. The objective here is seeking balance through the breath and allowing for a release both at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. We're going to use an equal ratio count. So if I inhale for 5, I'm going to retain the breath at the top for 5. Exhale for 5. Retain the breath at the bottom of the exhale for a 5 count. So I'll demonstrate one now. Inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Let's do that together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. One more together. Inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Good. Now at your own pace, using that equal ratio, inhale. Retain the breath at the top. Exhale. Retaining the breath at the bottom. Finding your own flow here. Allowing the breath to open the body, moving it through the center channel, the Sushumna, all the way up, from the root all the way through the crown and beyond, and then bringing the breath back down through the crown, through the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and down through the roots. Allowing the body to blossom open with the breath. And let's take 2 more complete breath cycles here at your own pace. Good. back in center. And begin to move the body slightly, just opening up with the breath. And our yoga is the practice of and the inviting of union of self, of all aspects of ourself. And so with that, wanting to take the breath into the movement. So we've connected with the breath here, opening the body, and now we're going to begin to pair the breath with the movement. And we want to take this into the entire practice. So we're going to begin with our Sufi grinds. And so sitting tall, you can begin by shifting your torso to the right side. Hands are on the knees. And we're going to begin rotating the torso, the top of the body, around the circumference of the pelvic bowl. And I'm a little stiff this morning, so just taking this at your own pace, the pace that's right for you, and exploring with curiosity, inviting the breath in to help lead the movement. So I inhale on the top side of the rotation, exhaling along the back side of the circumference of the pelvic bowl. And once again, just finding your own pace here with the intention of connection, rooting through the legs, creating a strong foundation so that the top of the body can move with ease. And just begin exploring where your body's at this morning. Allowing for any pops or squeaks or tension, just inviting the breath in. You can begin to activate the rib cage a little bit. There's a cat-cow type movement to the spine here that you can explore as well. Good, and let's take 2 more rotations on this side. Beautiful. And then once your 2 rotations are completed, begin winding yourself around your internal channel. Imagine there's a line from the top of your head through down to the root, and just begin twisting yourself around that internal pole like a tether ball. Decreasing the size of your rotation, the speed may increase. Just allowing yourself to move and open. Once you're here, we'll meet in center. And let's take that retention breath together. So inhale for 5. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. And then take an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Allowing the tension, the static to release from the body, from your energetic field. You can wiggle a little bit here. And then settling in, straight spine. We're going to go to the left side now. So we're going to tilt the torso to the left, strong foundation in the legs. And once again, just allowing the breath to move us here. So taking that breath exploration into the movement, exploring the body with curiosity here, allowing the muscles, the tendons, the blood to flow, to wake up. the mind begins to wander, just reconnecting to the breath. Beautiful. Let's take 2 more rotations on this side. And when you're ready, imagine that internal pull up and down the center channel of the body and begin wrapping yourself around that pull like a tether ball. You can open the chest, begin to rotate the shoulders a little bit, and eventually finding yourself back in center. Lengthen spine. Let's take a breath together here. Inhale for 5. Retain at the top. Exhale for 5. Retain at the bottom. Good. And then taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Good. And let's continue this flow and go into some neck rolls. So just begin bringing some awareness to the neck. Might move it side to side, and then we're going to bring our right ear to a right shoulder and begin rotating the neck 360 degrees. I like to inhale along the front side of the rotation, exhale along the back side of the rotation. Once again, allowing the breath to pair with the motion. Honoring any tension you may feel, inviting the breath in. We've got a new puppy at home, and so I find myself falling asleep in all types of strange positions just to keep her asleep. So my neck is full of all types of interesting feelings today. Let's take 2 more rotations on this side. Good, and then we'll meet in center. And let's take a breath together here, nice open chest. Inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Then taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Wonderful. And let's now allow that opening on the left side. So taking the left ear to the left shoulder, pairing with the breath. Inhale along the front of the rotation. Going at your own pace. Exhale along the back side of the rotation. Allow this to be a conversation with yourself. Let's take 2 more full rotations on this side. And we'll meet back in center. Nice open chest, shoulders relaxed back. Let's take an inhale together. Retain at the top. Exhale, releasing down. Cleansing the body with the breath. Retain at the bottom. Good. Release. And now taking an in and out breath at your own pace. Good. If you want to change the crossing of your legs, we're going to go through 2 more exercises from seated position here. So we're going to move into a seated cat-cow. You're going to want a strong foundation in your legs. You can also be in a supported hero's pose. I find I have more range of motion from a seated posture, but if you prefer to be here, you can. Okay. Once again, we're going to be pairing with the breath. And just allow yourself to move. So for our seated cat-cow, on the inhale, we're going to bring the chest forward, the belly through, shoulders fall back towards the floor. And then on the exhale, bringing the shoulders forward, we're going to cave the chest in, creating a C shape along the spine. I like to imagine a cord from the middle of my back towards the back wall, just pulling me further. And then inhaling through. Just allowing the spine to open, pairing with the breath like a wave. Waking up the digestive system, the organs, and the stomach. Opening the chest. Allowing the backside of the body to open. Good. Let's take 2 more full rotations here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's meet back in center. Strong spine, open chest. Let's take a breath here together. Inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Good. And then just taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Beautiful. All right, we're going to open up the lateral sides of the body. So beginning, we're going to take our right hand, planting it on the floor. Once again, you can be in a seated posture. You can be in hero's pose, supported hero's pose, finding what's right for you. Also, if it's too much of a reach for your hand to meet the floor, you can also bring in a block or a book or something to support you bringing the floor higher to you. So planting the right hand firmly on the ground, extending up through the shoulder. We're going to, on the inhale, bring the left arm overhead and then begin half moon, seated half moon, just reaching the left hand over to the right side, reaching towards the right wall if you have one there. We want to keep the chest open so we're not collapsing the chest. Wide open chest. And you can imagine the left rib cage pointing 45 degrees up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Or if that's imaginary for you, just imagining that here. And then just inviting in the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling the stretch from the left hip all the way up the left side of the body, through the left rib cage, the left armpit, engaging the left arm all the way through the fingertips. Take 2 more breath cycles here. And this last breath, using the breath to extend just a little bit further, gaining more length. Good. And releasing left hand down to the near floor, whatever feels best for you. You can roll the shoulders back, wiggle a little bit. And then coming into your spinal alignment, recentering. Taking an inhale and an exhale here at your own pace. Good. And now let's plant the left hand on the ground. On the inhale, we're going to bring the right arm up overhead, reaching towards the sky. On the next exhale, begin shifting into more of a crescent moon shape, half moon pose, seated half moon. We're going to bring the right rib cage towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, 45-degree angle up. The arm begins to curve over towards the left side of the body, fingers pointing towards left wall. We want to keep the shoulder girdle open, chest open, heart open. We're not curving in for the sake of any length in the posture. We're seeking extension, so feeling the stretch from the right hip up the right side of the body, the right rib cage, right armpit, all the way to the right arm where the shoulder socket and the arm meet. Engaging through the right arm, through to the fingertips, and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing any tension, any stagnant energy. Head and neck are a natural extension of the spine. You can also roll the neck a little bit if it needs to move. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Inhale. The next exhale, bringing the right arm down to the floor. Hands find themselves back on your knees, finding a strong seated spine. Let's take an inhale together here. Inhale for 5. Retain at the top. Exhale for 5. Retain at the bottom. Good. And taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace here. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to transition onto our backs and do some leg opening, some hip opening. So finding a position of comfort, you can lay a blanket down for some extra support, or if it's just chilly this morning, some extra warmth. And you're going to want to have your yoga strap handy. Once again, if you don't have a yoga strap, I'm using a jiu-jitsu belt, or you can use a necktie or something of that sort. So lying on our backs here, we're going to bring our feet are on the floor, close to the butt, about hip width distance apart. Hands are flat on the floor. And for a moment here, just allow the back, the low back, the shoulders to make connection with the floor. So using the breath, inhale and exhale, focusing on your connection to the floor. Feeling yourself rooting through the shoulders, through the back, the hips, onto the floor. And we're going to begin with some bridge poses. We're going to take this in increments. So varying levels of effort we're going to increase over time. So for our bridge pose, you have a couple of options. You can keep your hands flat on the floor. You also have the option of bringing them, once you've lifted up, you can roll the shoulders underneath you and clasp the hands underneath you. So that's another option. In our bridge pose, we don't want to let the knees splay open or fall inward. So they're going to stay the same distance, about 6 inches apart. Imagining you have a book or a block in between your legs. Okay, so we're going to begin. We're going to do 3 reps of this, I suppose. So for the first one, we're going to go to 20% of our full extension or effort. So on the inhale, we're going to take an inhale and exhale. And on the next inhale, squeezing the butt, activating the core, rising up 20% effort, holding here, connecting with the breath. And on the next exhale, release. Allowing your back to gently meet the floor once again. Taking an inhale and an exhale here. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to raise up. We're going to go to 50% effort here. Perhaps you roll the shoulders underneath you if that's right for you. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale. Imagining the breath coming up from the feet, all the way up through the knees, the thighs, up into the chest, the head. And on the next exhale, slowly release, rolling the back down to the floor. Tailbone meets the floor last. And a cleansing inhale and exhale here. The next inhale, pushing up, 100% effort here. Once again, you may roll the shoulders underneath you, clasping the hands together if that's right for you. Finding your breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, 100% effort. One more inhale. And on the exhale, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbones the last to meet the floor. Cleansing inhale and exhale here. Good. If you do have a blanket on your mat, you may want to roll it up just slightly so that your feet meet the mat. We're going to enhance that posture. So this time, when we go up 100% effort, once again, your hands could be on the floor or your shoulders can be rolled underneath you, hands clasped. From the 100% effort plane, we're going to be lifting up our legs from here. So you want to make sure and have good grips for your feet on the mat. So from here, taking one more inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, let's rise up into our bridge. Hips towards the ceiling, the hips bones reach towards the ceiling. Staying connected with the breath here. On the next inhale, bringing the right leg, balancing on the shoulders, bringing the right leg up, finding the angle that's comfortable for you, and you can play with this. So you may notice that the straighter the leg towards the ceiling maybe feels a little bit different than a 45. You can also play with pointing and flexing the foot. Breathing here. One more full breath cycle here. Good. Releasing the leg on the exhale. One more inhale, extending your bridge to 100%. And then on the exhale, rolling the spine down to the floor. Tailbone meets the floor last. Good. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. On the next exhale, inhale, let's go up into our bridge. Full extension. Breathing here, connect with the breath. On the next inhale, planting firmly on the right leg, balancing on the shoulders, lifting the left leg up, finding the position of the leg that is most comfortable for you. You can play with this here. You can also play with the pointing and the flexing of the toes, just finding what's right for you today, what feels good. You can rotate the ankles while they're up there. Connecting with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The next exhale, bringing the leg down to the ground. Hold the posture here. Extending up one more time. 100% effort. Inhale. And on the next exhale, release, rolling the spine down to the floor. Good. Let's take a cleansing inhale and exhale here. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do a little bit of a counter stretch here. So bringing the knees to the chest. Wrapping the arms around the knees, hugging your knees together. Shoulders come back down to the floor. Head rests on the floor. And you can rotate back and forth, rocking back and forth if that feels good for you today. If you don't have the grip here, you can also use your strap. Good. Let's release the legs. I'm gonna bring feet to the ground once again. And this time, we're going to inhale the right foot up towards the ceiling. Left leg is still planted on the floor. I'm gonna bring it close to my butt. Woo, like cramp, sorry. And then I'm just gonna cross my right leg over left knee. Creating a perpendicular line with my shin. And then I'm going to reach, or lifting the left knee up slightly, reaching through, grabbing a hold here behind the left knee. And I want to, the hip opening stretch comes from the right knee pushing towards the left foot. We don't want pain, but we want extension here. Flexing both feet, activating the legs. You can stay here. If you don't have the grip through the leg, once again, you can use your strap to extend your arms so that you have that reach. If you're ready to go a little bit deeper, on the inhale, you can begin bringing the left leg, pulling the left leg with the arms towards the body. Opening up right hip. Back is planted firmly on the ground. Elbows are in towards the body. The shoulders are planted firmly on the ground. Head is planted firmly on the ground. And connecting with the breath here. Take one more full inhale and exhale here. Your own pace. Good. Release the hands, release the left foot down to the mat. You can extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and on the exhale, bringing the right leg down to the mat gently with intention. You can release the left leg here. We'll do a breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Once again, bending up both legs. We'll do the other side here. So feet are planted firmly on the ground, close to the buttocks. Hands can rest on the floor. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the left leg up towards the ceiling with extension. Then you're going to cross it over so that left heel and right knee meet. Once again, the hip opening on this posture happens from the right knee flexing towards the front wall or towards the right foot. You're going to lift the right foot up off the ground, flexing both feet back, activating the legs. You can reach through the triangle shape that the legs have created, hooking the hands behind the right leg, behind right knee, bringing the chest back down to the floor, shoulders anchor on the ground. Once again, legs are active. Here is where I get my extension. The left knee rotates or pushes towards right foot. Once again, we don't want pain here, but we want extension. We want that stretch in the hip. You can stay here, or if you're ready, on the next inhale, begin bringing with the arms, elbows tucked in, the right leg towards the body. You're going to feel this stretch in the left glute, where the glute and the hip join. You may feel it in the low back, even the shins with the feet flexed. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath cycle here. Good. Releasing the hands. Right leg can float down. Right foot meets the mat. The next inhale, bringing the left foot up towards the ceiling. Hold here. Full breath in and out. On the exhale, floating the leg all the way down till the heel meets the mat. You can extend the right leg to meet it. We'll take a full breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a spine twist. And I'm going to show you two variations. First, we're going to bring the feet back towards the mat, towards the buttocks. Anchor strong through the shoulders. Right leg comes up, crosses over left. You can stay here, or you can tuck right foot through underneath the left ankle, creating, if you are familiar with eagle pose, you're creating the twisted leg from eagle pose. And then from here, we can take the arms out wide or into cactus arms, depending on how much room you have. So your arms can fully extend, or you can go into cactus arms here. And then we're going to begin bringing the right knee down to the left side of the body, creating this complete spine twist. Shoulders, head rotate towards the right side of the body, completing the twist through the neck. If it's too much for your right knee to meet the floor, you can put a block here to decrease the amount of rotation. Or if this stretch is too intense for you, forget the hook of the legs, extend the left leg, and bring the right leg across the body into a floor spine twist. Breathing here. Allowing the spine to open with the breath. Chest is open. And we're wringing the spine like a sponge. Feeling it from the coccyx all the way up through the lumbar spine, the vertebrae twisting, through the thoracic spine, all the way up to the top of the head. Good. On your next inhale, you can bring the legs back up. If you had your hook in with your right foot, you can release that up, bringing the right foot up to the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the leg down to the mat. Let's take a brief Savasana here. You can place your hands over your heart. Inhale. And exhale, releasing any tension, any toxins that may have been released from the spine. Just using the breath as a tool to move stagnant energy through the body. Release it onto the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. So finding the twist that was right for you. If you're going to go into the hooked legs, we're going to plant the right foot on the floor. Left leg comes up and crosses over right leg, hooking the left foot underneath the right ankle. Your arms can come into cactus arms, or you can extend them fully out. And then bringing the left knee down towards the right side of the body, right floor. Once again, you can use a block to bring the floor closer to you if this is too much for you. We want the left shoulder to remain in contact with the floor. So if you're not able to do that, bring in the block so that your leg doesn't have to go as far down to the floor. If the leg hook's not for you, once again, you can just do a floor spine twist. So bringing the left leg up and rotating it over the body. Gaze shifts to the left side of the body to complete the spine twist through the neck. So again, we don't want any pain here. We're just looking for extension, a nice stretch. And then just allow the breath to take you deeper into the posture. Enjoying this here. Inhale. And exhale. Letting go. Allow the energy, the tension to move. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. All right, getting ready to transition out. So on the you're gonna inhale. On the exhale, bringing the left leg back up. You can release the leg from the twist. We're going to bring the left leg down towards the floor. We'll allow the right leg to slide down to meet it. Just a brief savasana here. One breath cycle. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. We're going to bring our arms up overhead. Palms come to meet. Taking a nice big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to sit up. Palms come up towards the ceiling. Hands fold down to the feet. Stretching the back. You can take an inhale. And an exhale here. Good. We're actually going to work with that posture next. So, settling in a seated position on your mat, legs out in front of you. Have your strap handy. We're going to start with just a staff pose as a reset point. So if you want, you can roll your blanket or put a cushion underneath your seat if that feels good for you, raising the hips up. If not, you can remove the fleshy part from under the seat's bones, finding a nice solid seat. Firm foundation in the legs. Feet are active, toes are pointed towards the ceiling. I'm engaging the lower abdomen, creating a strong foundation for the spine to stack, lengthening the spine, opening the chest. Shoulders fall back down towards the floor. Shoulder blades come towards the spine. My hands are supportive next to me. And then the magic of staff pose is the slight internal rotation of the inner thighs. We don't compromise the position of the feet. It's a micro activation, inner thighs, that will activate the lower abdomen, the pelvis, and the pelvic muscles, the pelvic floor. So just allowing that engagement to happen here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. So we're going to go into a seated forward fold from here. Wanting to think about the fulcrum point at the hip joint. So we're not rounding over to touch the toes. We're actually trying to lie the front side of the body on top of the thighs. So I want you to think about you have a fulcrum point in your hips and it's rotating the body, the front body down towards the legs. If you're anything like me, I only have so much mobility here. I have very tight hamstrings, and so I'm going to bring in my strap here to support me. Bringing the strap around both feet. You can have a slight bend in the knees, which is going to allow for a greater range of motion. So getting yourself in position here. And then inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, we begin to rotate the body down, bringing the chest towards the knees, seeking a flat plane along the back side of the body. So really looking at keeping the shoulder girdle strong. My elbows tuck in towards the body. Head and neck are a natural extension of the spine. And then I'm just going to breathe here. With every breath, just seeking a little bit more length, whether that means bringing my body closer to my legs or extending the legs further out. I just kind of begin shimmying forward, allowing the breath to move me deeper into the posture. Good. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here, finding extension and length, going deeper than you've gone before, using the breath. Good. On the next inhale and exhale, we'll release up. Beautiful. So next we're going to be going into a boat pose. And so this may be something that you have some experience in and a lot of comfortability in. If that's the case, I invite you to go ahead and find your boat pose. And there's a couple variations of this. So finding a strong seat, you're going to be balancing on your seat bones. We want a nice, tall, strong back. So shoulders rotate back towards the floor, keeping the chest open. I use my strap to get into my boat pose. So you can wrap the strap around your feet. And this is just going to be a kind of a progression to finding your balance point and what works for you. If you have nice extension of the legs, you may have a full extension of your boat pose. If you're like me, you can use the strap. You may have bent legs, but making every effort to really rise through the chest, keeping the back strong, strong core, keeping a straight, tight back, and then using the breath to extend the legs even further. Breathing here. Pushing the chest through, just really working on that extension. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Good. On the next exhale, gently begin to release the legs down. You can release the strap, allowing the legs to come out in front of you. You can wiggle them a little bit. Good. Let's do a little bit of counter to that. So bring your booty towards the bottom of your mat. We're going to go into a shoulder stand and then plow if you'd like. So lying back on the mat, or you can use your momentum. It's very natural from boat to just kind of naturally roll into your shoulder stand from here. So you're supporting the low back with the hands, creating kind of a platform for the body to build itself on. And allowing some flexibility here just with how you navigate the posture. So some days I really like bringing my knees to my forehead and just allowing this kind of inverted version of rabbit pose. Can also extend the feet out, going into a full plow. Protecting the neck by tucking the chin. If neither of those things are for you today, you can just stay in your shoulder stand. Or if none of this is for you, you can just find a nice savasana. Breathing here. On the next exhale, begin your descent back down to the mat. We're going to rock all the way up to a seated position. And so from here, it's kind of a close to our asana practice. We're going to go into a fire log posture. So, starting with the left leg, I want to create a 90-degree angle in the pit of my knee. So, the top of my leg, thigh, coming straight out from the hip, and then shin is coming perpendicular, creating a 90-degree angle in my knee joint. And then I'm going to create that same dynamic, that same angle with my right leg, stacking it on top of the left leg. So the right ankle stacks on top of left knee. So we're somewhere kind of in this area. You can support with blocks. You can even have a block here, so you can fully support the posture. And this kind of creates a different element of elevating the hips. And eventually, the legs begin to come towards one another, but wherever you're at today is fine. From here, just placing the hands on the legs, finding a nice solid seat, finding your center, stacking the spine, extending the spine up towards, or just creating a nice long spine, extending the head up towards the ceiling. And finding your breath here. The toes can flex back, which is just going to increase the dynamic of the stretch. Allowing the breath to open the hips. Good, and when you're ready, on the exhale, we're just going to change the stacking of the legs. So same position here, just changing right and left leg. So right leg comes down to the floor, creating a 90-degree angle out in front of me, as much as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then stacking the left leg over top, fire log pose. This connection right here of the left ankle to the right knee, with the bony ankle, it might be kind of tender. So you can bring a blanket or a block. Once again, this is a hip opener. Opening the hip in kind of a different way than we've done previously. Feeling this on the left side. And if you have the range of motion, you can slightly push down on the left knee, increasing the stretch. You can also flex back the toes towards one another. Stacking the spine, finding length in the top section of the body, opening the chest, connect with the breath here. Encouraging the breath down into the hips, exploring any tension with curiosity. We don't want any pain. If you're experiencing pain, you can try modifying with some blocks underneath each knee. You can also release out, go into a cross-legged posture here. Hands rest gently on the knee, on the ankle, and breathing here. Good. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Wonderful. When you're ready, you can release the legs. You may want to shake them out just a little bit. Shake the hips out. You have a couple of options here. We're going to go into our body scan. So you can lie down in your Savasana, finding a comfortable position. You might bring a bolster under the legs. If you have an eye pillow or something to place over your eyes to allow for deeper relaxation, you can do that. If you're feeling a lot of, if you feel like you've released a lot in the legs today, you may also benefit from doing legs up the wall. And so that looks just like it sounds. You can scoot yourself close to the wall, and then you kind of fan your legs up, bringing the legs up the wall. And you might be here just a few moments while we connect with the breath, allowing the blood to flow in reverse, fresh oxygen coming up into the legs. This might be a nice thing to do for just a couple of minutes. You can point and flex the toes. But ultimately, when you're ready, getting into your Savasana, back flat on the floor, finding a comfortable position. Your hands can be down by your sides, or you may choose to put your hands over your heart, maybe one hand over the heart, one over the belly, showing appreciation, connection to yourself here, a little self-soothing. And just begin connecting with the breath. Imagine feeling into your feet chakras. Just imagine the breath coming up the center channel of the body, starting from the feet, coming up through the inner thighs, through the groin, the pelvis, up through the stomach, the chest, the throat, all the way up the nasal passages, out the head. And then on the exhale, just observing that in reverse, flushing the body with the breath all the way down through the chest, belly, pelvis, down the legs, through the feet. Full breath cycle. And I want you to begin bringing your awareness down to your left big toe, imagining a light, your focus representing a light that you bring to the tip point of your toe like a laser pointer. See if you can feel that awareness there. Just imagining if you can play with that light beam in your mind or in your feeling, however you experience that cue. Just imagine expanding and contracting that light on your toe, bringing it to the most finite point at the tip of your toe. And then allowing that awareness to fill the left big toe. And allowing that awareness to spread to the second toe of the left foot, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the pinky toe. Awareness now filling the top of the foot, activating the foot chakra on the left side, and the heel, up to the ankle. Now allowing that awareness to spread to the shin and the calf, up the leg to the left knee, patella, front and back of knee, filling the knee cavity with your awareness. And then allowing that to extend up to the thigh, to the left hamstring, filling the cavity of the upper left leg 360 degrees, filling like a barrel with water. And allowing that awareness to spread into the left hip joint. And allowing that awareness to travel across the pelvis towards the belly button. Belly button acting as a gateway to the torso, allowing the awareness to fill the lower torso, low back, stomach, like a cauldron filling with water. Just allow the awareness to spread here. And bringing that awareness to the back, the spine. Imagine this light circling around each vertebrae as it climbs the spine like a ladder, all the way up towards the rib cage, through and around each rib, climbing through the chest. Awareness filling the chest cavity, filling the heart, bringing a sensation of warmth and love to the heart. Now allowing that awareness to continue up the spine, along the back side of the body, to where the shoulder blades meet the spine, allowing the shoulders to become engulfed with this warmth, with this awareness. This light travels up towards the trapezius muscles, along the back side of the shoulder girdle, out through the arms, extending down through the armpits, biceps, the triceps, the elbows, the forearms, the little finger, the ring finger, the middle finger, the pointer finger, and the thumb, and traveling back up the arms towards the front of the chest, along the collarbone, the pectoral muscles, all becoming active with this awareness. Allowing that light, that focus, that attention to travel up the neck, front, throat, the back side of the neck where the skull and the neck meet. Bringing awareness now to the jawbone, the jawline, and allowing this attention to release any strain, any tension in the jaw, allowing the cheeks to fill with awareness, up to the eyes, the eye sockets, the nasal passages, up through the third eye, pineal gland, the brain, all the way up towards the top of the skull, feeling the whole skull embraced with your awareness. And then bring that awareness down the nose to the tip of the nose, down the front of the face, the lips, the chin, the throat, down the sternum, feeling any tension in the sternum, the heart, and inviting it to release. And then allowing this awareness to come down the front side of the belly, down towards the belly button, and then over the pelvis, towards the right hip, right low back, coming engaged with your awareness here. Allowing the hip joint to fill, extending down to the upper thigh on the right side, the glutes and the hamstrings, down towards the knee, filling the knee cavity, front and back, over the patella, and down towards the right shin, the right calf, coming engaged with your awareness. Allowing that focus to come into the right ankle joint, top of right foot. The right foot chakra engages, right heel along the bottom of the right foot towards the right pinky toe, and the fourth toe, and the third toe, second toe, and then allowing your awareness to focus in on the right big toe, like with a laser pointer, finding a spot on the tip of the right toe, and then letting go. Settling into your Savasana here. When you're ready, opening your eyes, wangling your fingers and your toes, coming back to the room. You can roll over to your right or left side, coming into a fetal position. Then using your arms to lift the torso up, coming into a seated posture. I'm going to close us with the sound of Om. We'll repeat it 3 times. You can join me if you would like. You can bring your hands into prayer over your chest or leave them on your shins. And noticing the 3 sounds that compose the Om. The Ah, which you'll feel in your root sacral. The Ah with the U in your chest and your heart, and the M sound in the forehead and the crown, and just allowing this to be a complete experience with this perfect sound of Om. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in all of you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.